Integrated bracelet watches are extremely popular right now. Every single micro brand out there is coming out with some version of an integrated bracelet watch. However, something that many micro brands don't try and tackle is the skeletonized integrated bracelet watch. There's a few different reasons for that. They can look cheesy. Today we're going to take a look at CREUX AUTOMATIQ, and they have made an integrated bracelet watch that is skeletonized. But what they've done is used a Sellita movement. That's not something that everybody is doing currently, and I think it looks great. So let's flip the camera and take a look at CREUX AUTOMATIQ and their Diamondback 2. It's been a few years since I featured a CREUX AUTOMATIQ here on my channel. However, today I have the Diamondback 2 to show you guys, and they've made some major upgrades on this watch, and they've also incorporated some of the style elements from their more expensive, larger watch, the Ghost. This is now a skeletonized watch. It is not made by Swisstech, so the movement is not a Swisstech movement, as previous versions of their skeletonized watches were. This is actually a Sellita SW200 that has been skeletonized, and I'll do close-ups of the front and the back of this movement so you can see, but you do get a darkened rotor, as you did on previous versions as well. Really nice movement, and like I said, plenty of close-ups so you could see what that movement looks like. You still get a sapphire crystal, however now the sapphire crystal has the brand name printed on the underside at the 12 o'clock, and then at the 6 o'clock it says Diamondback, which is obviously the name of the watch. You also get 100 meters of water resistance with this watch now, screwed in crown, screwed in case back, and obviously you could see the movement from that case back. It's still an integrated bracelet, stainless steel watch, and you still get a really nice bracelet on this watch that is very reminiscent of the Vacheron 222. Obviously it takes some heavy inspiration from that bracelet. They also upgraded the bracelet a little bit. It's still a butterfly clasp, but now you get a little bit of a plaque here rather than a extra fold over portion that was kind of old-fashioned, very reminiscent of what you would have gotten on a Vacheron 222. So they sort of modernized that. You still have push pins, you do get quick release, and it's very easy to change into a rubber strap if you wanted to do that. You have polishing and brushing on the side of the case, and you can see that it's not really a chamfered edge, it's almost basically half polished, half brushed, and then on the top of the case is basically brushed. The bezel is polished on the sides and then brushed on the top, and then you have these screws that hold in the bezel. Those are PVD coated. The dial here, and it's not really a dial, it's more of a chapter ring, is in black. So they make this in a few different colors. That black chapter ring is pretty large, and it actually holds all of the indices in place. Those are liberally applied with lume, and so are the hands. So we will do a lume shot towards the end. They've skeletonized this pretty well, so there is a lot of evacuation of space, so there is a lot that you can see through the top of this dial, or lack of dial. And then when you flip it over, obviously you have a screwed in case back, and all of the bridges are skeletonized. You still have these large crown guards that are finished very nicely, and a very large crown that is signed with the CREUX AUTOMATIQ logo. Very quickly, I will do some measurements, and then we will do a lume shot. I'll throw it on my wrist as well, and we'll talk about price. So the case itself is around 40 millimeters, so it measures just around 40 millimeters. With those crown guards though, and it's essentially how it will wear is like a 42 millimeter, so it's between 43 and 40 millimeters. It wears like a 41 or a 42 millimeter watch. That's because it is an integrated bracelet. They do wear, or tend to wear it larger. 10.6 millimeters thick. That is really good considering you're getting 100 meters of water resistance, and 6.3 millimeters on that crown. The lug to lug is going to be a large lug to lug because you do have male end links, and it sort of wears like a cuff when you put this on. So it's in the 50s, it's in the high 50s, 58 millimeters. So it will wear larger, as I mentioned, than its said dimensions. So very quickly, I'm going to throw this on my wrist, and then we're going to talk about price. So today I have on my AP Royal Oak Offshore Diver This is another very big, this is 42 millimeters. Definitely wears a lot bigger than this watch, which is 40 millimeters with those crown guards around 42 millimeters. This is around 44 millimeters with those crown guards, I believe. But it does wear a lot bigger and obviously a lot heavier than most watches because it has that giant bracelet. This actually wears really nicely. It's a lot more comfortable than that watch. I actually don't wear that watch a lot because it isn't very comfortable. You can see this wears a lot better on my 7.5 inch wrist, and I think it's a really good looking watch, especially this bracelet. I really do think this bracelet is something special, and there aren't a lot of brands out there who have made an homage to the Vacheron 222 bracelet, which I think is a beautiful bracelet. It's not an exact homage to it, but it's very, very similar in design, and I think it looks fantastic. There you go. 41 millimeters, I would say, on my 7.5 inch wrist. Very, very thin, wears very nicely, and close to the wrist. So the price on this watch is $1,600. Seems like a lot of money, but you are getting an integrated bracelet case and watch, and it also is a Sellita SW200 that is heavily skeletonized. A lot of work goes into this, and they didn't raise the price on here. I think this was around $1,600 when they were using a Swiss Tech movement. This is still $1,600, and now they are using a Sellita movement. Sellita movements cost more money, and to skeletonize them, it costs even more money. It probably costs 2 to 3 times what that original movement costs, so something to keep in mind. Very quickly, a loom shot. So they didn't only loom the indices, but they also loomed the minute track. So there's a significant amount of loom on here compared to the previous version. And I have to say, I am really happy that they did that, because the previous version had loom, but it wasn't as good as this. And you know, I love loom. And you also have a running seconds. You could see the loom on there. You could see it in the dark that it's working. Excellent job, in my opinion. I really like the design of this watch. Usually I'm not a huge fan of skeletonized movements, but what they've done here is somewhat tasteful. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of CREUX Automatic? What do you think of skeletonized integrated bracelet watches? Very, very popular, and sometimes they could look bad, sometimes they look good. I think this one looks pretty good. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog, all one word. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything, it helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you in the next video.